What's up, guys? Chasing Laveney here with episode number 22 of our Williams revival on F1 Manager 22. We are in season 2, and in today's episode we are going to Silverstone for round 10 of the 2023 season. So far, things are looking actually pretty okay. We've got Oscar Piastri sitting 6th in the Drivers' Championship, Teo Pourchaire in 13th, and we're sitting in 4th in the Constructors' Championship. So things going well so far. If we go to the board screen, we can see what our objectives are looking like at the moment, whereby by next season they want us to have scored points in 50% of our season's races, and we're already more or less at 50% of that target before we even get to halfway in the season. At this point in our finances, because I had a couple of debty months, which was fine. It didn't hurt that much. All confidence still high. They're still happy with our objectives and all that good stuff. Our race performance, apart from Jeddah and Sakir, which I wasn't massively thrilled by our performance at, we're doing okay thus far. In terms of this season's objective, 7th or above, we're well on target, so we won't be worrying too much about that. So, in terms of what we need to do before we get into the race, there's no development to do. I need to have a quick check just to make sure nothing has appeared in terms of points to spend. We're all good, so we'll keep moving forward. Get ready for the British Grand Prix. We know we have a design coming in shortly, and then I have to do another design, which is going to be ideally a chassis design, because I want to get us made faster. We've got a low suspension stock, but I have a feeling that part we're about to bring in is a suspension. I have a feeling we have a new suspension design coming in very shortly. We do 3 days, so I'm not going to stress too much about designing new suspensions of the old type. That's a waste of money. We're not overly concerned about, so we'll just let that one ride. We've finished constructing the new chassis, or extra iterations of the new chassis we were building. That's absolutely fine, so I'll look, see what's going on. Board confidence still high. Financial report, we're still doing okay. We've got 9 million in the bank. We need to get our car top speed out. Our boardroom is in poor condition. Can I refurbish that? I should do that, because that's going to help us with the board a little bit. Anything else in the important emails that we need to check out? New chassis, just the thing, right? So we're going to go forward to a design of our new suspension coming in. Beautiful stuff. That's what we like to see at this stage of the season. So we will get that manufactured on the car. That's step 1. New project, manufacture, and then we'll go to our new suspension and see how many of those we can get done in time for the next race. 5-day build, 4 days till the Grand Prix. It's not really the one. I think we're going to have to emergency manufacture 3 of them, burn that cash, and then we'll do a less emergency manufacture that should just bring in some more over the course of the weekend. We'll do it on rush just to be on the safe side. We'll do 3 more that way, and at least then we know we have a spare coming in over the race weekend. Right, design time. We've just had a new ADR period, or ATR, aerodynamic period, come in. We're looking for top speed on our car then, because we are starting to slip back on the top speed on our car, and that's going to be important. The next ATR period is in 63 days. Let's just have a little look to see with our existing stuff. We are going to have to use at least some of that. We'll use a quarter of it again. That worked out nicely last time, so we'll use a quarter. We're going to do a new chassis. We'll do a quarter of each of our allocations for CFD and the wind tunnel, because that feels like a strong position to be in. We'll go to our design focus, and we are going to focus very much on top speed if we can, which I think is optimized aero. Is it optimized aero or optimized race performance? I'm not sure which one's going to do what. We'll just do that. Airflow middle. Does that make us faster? It does make us faster. Right, can we improve? I don't really want to do that. We're just trying to get the best out of our car that we can. We'll do it that. That will help us. That'll be fine. At least then we know something's going to happen. We'll put all 4 of our available engineers on it. And August should be after the mid-season break. That's a good time to come back in. Okay, we'll do it that way. We'll do it intensive, because then we get the research bonus as well. That's good time. So when's that going to complete? 29 days. 29 days. Let's have a little look. Let's see where that puts us on the calendar. 29 days should be about 4 weeks. So there. Beautiful. What race is that? Just before Hungary. Excellent. That's going to be a helpful time to get that in order. Get our ducks in the row. Right, we'll keep going forward and see what happens there. Facility upgrade coming in for our car part test centre, which should make all of our everything a little bit better, which is nice. We do need that to happen, and we'll carry on forward now to the race weekend, where hopefully I can set some bold-ish targets. I need to see actually with our car before I set the targets. Let's get the car set up with that new suspension on it, so I can just get a better idea of where we're at in terms of how that goes. So we are, let's just make things a little bit better under DRS, but that's absolutely fine, to be honest. That will still help us out a little bit. So we'll get that going. In terms of the things that are vital, we should be okay to finish somewhere in the midfield. I think would be a good performance target. I'm going to aim for points because I always do. We're going to say we can reach Q3 and say we can reach Q2 for definite. I'm going to say both drivers in Q2. That feels like it's a good plan for the extra bonus money. Race targets, I don't want to go for a fastest lap. I normally do, but I don't want to go for a fastest lap because I think the midfield is so tight at the moment that the chance of you getting a big enough gap to go onto a late softs, it's not worth it, especially because it's just for a bonus, not for a bonus point now. So I think that's how we're going to leave things, and we're going to go to the race weekend at the British Grand Prix, and I'll see you after qualifying. Okay, so confession time post-qualifying. I got a little bit too interested in the football and forgot to send the drivers out for their qualifying run in Q1. So we are going last to first challenge today, which is going to be fine, I'm sure. So let's have a look at the actual proper qualifying grid. So we've got Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen and George Russell on the first two rows, followed by Sainz, Hamilton with a grid penalty, Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, Vettel with a penalty, followed by Gasly, Ricciardo, Stroll, Norris, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Zhou Guan Yu, Alex Albon, and then Piastri and Porsche. So, great times all round. Anyway, we'll be fine today. The weather's supposed to be pretty good, and this does give me an opportunity to, we've got 100% setups by the way, does give me a little opportunity to get some brand new parts in, because let's take the pain of the penalties on top of everything else, why not? We are back to the grid anyway, we may as well just go full power on our power unit and see if we can use that to get ourselves through the field. Now, in terms of strategy as well, we're going to have a little think here, because Piastri is certainly a better overtaker, apparently starting in 17th, but we'll sack that off, that's fine, it's not going to make a great deal of difference to us. We'll get this new power unit, in the car, we'll take all the grid penalties, that's not actually going to cause us that much drama anyway, I don't think, and it will help us for the rest of the season, so we'll take the pain now, because you can overtake at Silverstone. It's a power track that you can overtake at, so having more power and the overtaking ability is going to help us out. So, in terms of our actual strategies today, Piastri, from the top of my head, is a better overtaker. It's not going to let me put him in the car. It should let me see his stats. Basically, Piastri is a better overtaker, so our plan is going to be we'll go aggressive with him. We have a lot of soft tyres. Let's just see what the best of these strategies is. Apparently that one. We'll just have a little look though to see, is there more speed to be found in going with a soft, medium, and then a soft? I think there probably will be. I'm aware that Piastri is not great on his tyres, but that's not huge drama as these things go, so we'll try and stretch that as far. We can get away with a soft, medium. We'll go with that. We'll play it a little bit safe. Which I say play a little bit safe. Let's go full attack on the first stint. Let's drag out those two stints a little bit. We should be able to get to the end. That should be even time. Even time split seems ambitious. See what we can bring that in. There's going to be a strategy here, I know it, where I can get more out of the car. It's not that one. That's fine. We'll play it. Like I said, we'll play it by ear because safety car could come into play here as well. Try and get Piastri some places early. If a safety car does come in, we will take advantage of that, because I think Piastri can pick up a lot of places off the line. He's the kind of driver I feel like that's a possibility if we massively overfuel him as well. We'll go full pace, full power, and give him all of the overtake. I think he's going to be able to pull that off. Corsair, I like the idea of a slightly safer strategy whereby he'll make those tyres work for him and he can just kind of go for it a little bit more. We'll give him the extra fuel to be able to compete, and then we will see if he can make something work through the pit stops and take advantage of a safety car if it comes up. That's going to be the plan. Bit of a split strap, but I don't think it's a huge mistake. I think it will probably come off, and I think we're probably in a good position. We'll take the grid penalties. That's not a problem. Let's see what Crofty's got to say.
I hope I'm not tempting fate here, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. Williams here. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. And looking at the second Williams car. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. And we're just moments away now. Hold on tight, it's the British Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And we're away here at Silverstone. We're going to go on board with Oscar because I think he's the one making all the big moves in this first stint for sure. We have to hope so at least. We'll drop that off so we can just see where everyone end up lining up on the grid. Looks like Hamilton 14th and Vettel 15th. Sonoda just ahead of us as well, who's been passed by both the Astons off the line. So we need Piastri to be very aggressive here. But I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. I think he should be able to get through. Let's have a little look to see who's doing what on the tyres. We have got Piastri as the only man on softs, and we have Guan Yu Zhou on hards going for the alternate one stop, you would think. But Piastri going already for that first overtake on Sonoda makes it stick. I am fairly convinced there's going to be a safety car happening pretty at some stage in this race. The last couple of corners, we've seen a lot of spins through practice, so I'm going to assume that is a thing that's going to come into play early on in this Grand Prix. We are still in the fight with Sonoda. Bit of a wheel-to-wheel battle. Let's go off board, see if we can see what's happening. We're about to go three wide. We're about to go three wide, ladies and gents, and that's what we're looking for. Some fun action in the early stages as we try and make our way up through the grid. Sonoda should have about the same amount of power as us. If anything, we're probably holding each other up, getting past Albon and Zhou, because they've not really had any power to show for anything so far in this season. So we are looking okay in this opening stint. We'll go back on board just for the fun of maybe we can get a look in here. Except there has been some stuff happening in that corner there over the weekend, so maybe there's going to be some mistakes occurring. We don't want to get caught up in it. We are going to go for the power through onto lap 2, which is what we're looking for. Can we get something going here? Corsair should be having a little look at the back of Guan Yu Zhou as well. We'll get back to the intervals there. We are in the middle of a fight still with Sonoda, which is a little bit disconcerting. We're going to make this stick at some stage. Once the DRS opens, we should be golden. Piastri has finally got himself out ahead of Sonoda and Albon somewhere in that mix. I didn't see what happened to Albon, but he's somehow dropped behind. Let's have a little look at the replay. See if we can see what's going on here. Looks like we both kind of squeezed past. Us and Sonoda both squeezed past Albon early on, which is cool. What's a show? We squeezed past one of the Astons either way early on, which is just going to be a case of seeing if Corsair can use the longer strat he's got to make up these places. The team are loving it, except her in the front, who seems to be frozen in time. She's having an issue. That's okay. Bit of a glitching humour. We've got Show in front of us now, and we should be in a good position to make some places up now. If we can just get powered past Show, who's on the harder tyres, he should be easy pickings and will be easy pickings going into this next section, heading towards Maggers, Beckett's, Cops, etc. We are up into P16 and we should be closing on Vettel. Like I said, we are kind of a bit of a a short early run, but I think it's going to be good for us long term to do that. I don't think the extra stop is going to cause us too much pain, because we are going to come out from it in clean air. Pourchaire's made a move on Albon, drop him down into last. Let's see how this is going to go here. Great move up the inside. What, has he made it stick? I know we know he's made it stick. I don't know why. I'm trying to build that suspense. He's made it stick, and he's getting onto the back now of Yuki Tsunoda and the Haas, which should give us a good place to keep going. The team are finally loving it. She hasn't moved. She's really struggling. Someone should get her a medic. I just saw that she still hasn't moved. I'm a little bit concerned for our pit crew member there. Right, let's keep going. Let's get ourselves going. Someone has spun in sector 3. I don't know who that might be. Is it Hamilton? Verstappen. That was Verstappen off. DRS enabled for Max Verstappen. Let's see what he did there. He was in second place. He's come out of the final court. Just lost it. And we have hopefully found a way to get past Max in all of that, because he shouldn't have had a gap to rejoin safely. And there's another last to first challenge, I guess, ongoing now. We've got Max Verstappen behind us, chasing us down. Pourchaire, let's see what's going on board with him. He's catching up to Tsunoda, and we'll need to pass him pretty quickly, let's be honest. Otherwise, we've got Seb Vettel in front of us and Magnussen in front of him. So we are going to have to really make this tyre advantage work for us as early as we can. DRS open. We need to get the advantage going fast here. We should have the acceleration advantage. Going for a look at the inside. Good grip, which means we've got better braking, obviously, with the better grip on the soft tyres. And that could make all the difference here. Going to come out through Woodcote now. Can we do something into this next corner? We should be able to get the advantage on Magnussen. If we get a look at the inside, we're doing well here. We're going to drop down to neutral on the battery for both drivers. That's a good move. And we have made it. Well, we are making it past Magnussen. We'll make this one stick here, and we should be golden. We're going to try and have another look coming out of here, but we're going to go into a good DRS zone, open up the rear wing, up into 30, and we've made it up, 7 places in the first 3 laps. This is good stuff. This is what legends are made of, and we can see Lewis Hamilton ahead of us as we're about to pull onto the straight that is named for him. Nobody's binned it in that corner. That's what we like to see. Pourchaire's got past Albon, or lost the place to Tsunoda. He's having a battle. Stuff is happening. We've set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. The fastest man on track, Oscar Piastri, with a 1:32. That's pretty strong. And we are now chasing down Pierre Gasly, and we can see points, which is always good as we look to go through another DRS zone very shortly. And we should hopefully get Gasly here as well, ready to make some big moves here, get ourselves onto the back of Hamilton, you hope. That will be the plan at the very least. Can we make anything happen? We're not going to get close enough in the braking zone, but we're okay. We are still in the running here. Making the big overtakes happen is what we're looking to do. And we have got Gasly very firmly in our sights. So, can we make more places happen? That's the next question. Gasly, as it seems, does have at least a little bit of pace to match us with, which is fine. It's not unexpected. We just need to get to the end, full power, full steam ahead. That's what we're doing here, and hopefully something good will happen into the DRS zone again. And this is a good overtaking opportunity if we can find it. Pourchaire has taken advantage of it to make the move on Guan Yu Zhou, and that's going to be a big move for us. Meanwhile, into the last corner, let's have a little look at that before we see what happened with that move. He's just gone big power here through the S's of Magnussen, Beckett and Cox and whatnot. And out we come through Village, and we've got the position. Good times. Let's carry on with what we were doing, shall we? Because Piastri is still having a little look up the back of Pierre Gasly and still making moves work, still making things happen on his strategy. Where is he in terms of exactly on the curve of where we expected, ready to come in on lap 10, which would do wonders for him. So let's keep this going, keep it moving, let's speed things up, because otherwise we're going to be here for the full 2 hours. Verstappen is on the back of Théo Pourchaire though, so I might just drop back and have a little look, see what's going on there on the off-board. because, I mean, Verstappen already passed the 2 Aston Martins. That's not unexpected. But having a little look at us whilst we're trying to have a look at Sonoda is an interesting plan. It's a bit of an interesting gambit. Where's Porsche looking at his curve of tyre deg? I think we need to just go aggressive here for a little while and see if we can put ourselves ahead of Sonoda and put Sonoda between us and Verstappen. It's the old Mario Kart trick of just chucking the tortoise shells behind to see if we can keep ourselves ahead of Max, who of course will have DRS from us. But Sonoda is in no man's land a little bit, so he's just going to be pulling us along with the DRS. We do need to make a move here though. I wouldn't be looking for an outside move here, I'd be looking for an inside move. We're not looking for any move, but we are keeping Verstappen behind, which is nice, as we come again up through the Hamilton straight, which should hopefully yield something for us if we can use that extra tyre, get the good traction, pull away from Verstappen a little bit. There is a DRS zone about to open up for us, so that's going to be where we try and make this move on Sonoda's stick as we come around this corner in. I used to know the names of all the corners in F1. I can't remember any of the names of my home circuit right now. That's a good sign, isn't it? Porsche, anyway, is having a little look to see on DRS. We should be able to get ourselves up the inside here, you would hope. Late braking, maybe. It's not going to happen for us, but we're still in the hunt. Still in the hunt, keeping Verstappen behind, which is the key thing, as Piastri has just made a move on Gasly. Action all around us at the moment, action everywhere, and Piastri now onto the back of Lando Norris. Meanwhile, we've got Théo Pourchaire looking to make something happen. Let's have a look at Piastri move on Gasly. See what happened here. Good around the outside is what we like to see, and we've of course made that stick, and we're onto the back of Lando Norris and looking to get ourselves up into the top 10, which is always beautiful. Always beautiful. Of course, Hamilton ahead in the top 10 as things stand. But DRS for Piastri, DRS for Porsche. Let's make this move now. Come on, we've got to get past him because Verstappen's having a look at the outside. We've got to get put through here, otherwise we are screwed and we're staying on the outside. Hopefully Verstappen getting squeezed by being stuck behind Sonoda. We've got to keep this going, and Verstappen has passed us. Come on, let's hold Verstappen off. That's the best we can hope for. DRS open. Come on, up the inside. Let's squeeze Verstappen on the outside. We've made that stick, and Verstappen could be in trouble if we can keep Sonoda behind us, which we're looking like we're going to manage just about. I say this, we'll go off board, because that's going to be the best way to see this battle happen. We'll drop it down to 1 time speed. We are still a 3-way battle through Nagas, Beckett and Cops. That's not what we're looking for. And Verstappen has decided to join us on this one. Porsche has the wing open, so does Verstappen. It's a straight drag race, and I think we've probably lost it to Verstappen. Our best hope is going to be just to try and stay on the back of him here, which, frankly, let's be honest, not necessarily the easiest task in F1. We're going to drop back down to standard for all. We entered the pit window with Piastri, who is still on the back of Porsche. I'm sorry, on the back of Norris, but Porsche very much staying in touch with Verstappen, who should be able to help pull us up away from Sonoda and towards Sebastian Vettel, at which point we play the game again of who can make the move. It should be an interesting battle. We're going to go back to Piastri because I don't think we're going to do much in terms of battling with Verstappen at this stage of the Grand Prix, and even if we do, we're just delaying the inevitable. Because, let's face it, Verstappen should be past us and gone faster than we think. We're just trying to stay in the DRS zone. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, we'll use the aggression on the tyres a little bit more just to make sure we do stay up with Verstappen as he pulls us towards Vettel. That should be the plan. Meanwhile, Piastri needs to make some moves again to get himself up past Lando Norris, which is, I guess, easier said than done, but we've made some good positions. We are going to come out behind everyone after the pit stop. That's not a huge concern for me. We're okay on tyres for now, so we should be okay. Let's just bring the tyre temp down a little bit because there's no point in us pushing harder than we need to. That's also good planning. We should stay up with Lando just about. Just trying to make sure these tyres will make it to the pit stop because we are we are in the window, or we are about to hit the active stage of the window. I don't want the tyres to completely drop off, and I am aware that Piastri will never quite hit the target that is set for us with the strategy, because that's just how he drives. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful, but it's fine. We can afford to lose a little bit of time to Lando Norris. He's getting held up by Stroll now. Hamilton's made up into 8th, and we've got Gasly coming back at us, which again, not the biggest problem in the world, because we're about to pit. We're going to come out faster, hotter on these fresh tyres. We should be okay in that regard. This does keep us with DRS as well, which is again not an issue. That's going to help us along. As long as we can stay in touching distance of Gasly, we're going to be pulling away from Magnussen, and that's what we're looking to do. So, Sainz just takes the fastest lap. We are going to be trying to get a look at Gasly. We're onto the pits, the optimal pit lap for our strategy. So, a good time to bring in Piastri. We'll burn the rest out of these tyres, because why the devil not? And hopefully Piastri's going to come out firing. He's going to come out firing from his pit stop, and we'll be in a really good position to just get some clear air, strong laps in. That's what we're looking for. Pourchaire still, by the way, up with Verstappen. Verstappen has caught Vettel, so we're good there. We can drop Pourchaire down a little bit on his tyres, bring the pace down. We don't need to worry too much. We're going to be in DRS for a little while anyway. And frankly, there's not really much overtaking happens at this point. Let's have a look, see what Piastri does in the pits whilst we're thinking about anything else strategy-wise. I think this could be a winner for a while. This could be jump up the timing tree and then back down going through that corner. It drives me a little bit mad. But we're in the pit lane and we should be good. I'd like a stop of under 2.8. That would do us nicely. 2.6, a very smooth stop. Onto the medium tyres, we're going to come out, we're going to light up the rear tyres. We're going to be right on the back of the Astons immediately, so, overtaking will occur. We'll go down to standard on the tyres, because we need this stint to be a slightly longer stint. That's kind of what we're going for. Pourchaire still up there in that train, so what we can do is we can do a little harvest for a while. That will help us out as we get into the next phase of the Grand Prix, where people start pitting and such like, because I think we're probably going to come in a touch earlier than we planned, just because we did go aggressive on those tyres for so long. But it's absolutely fine. We are still in DRS. We don't need to worry about using our battery so much, which is good stuff. Piastri will catch Guan Yu Zhou pretty quickly and start making his way back through the field, which should be good for us. Pourchaire is looking to pick up any 2 stoppers. We'll be taking them out very shortly for more position, which is nice. It's nice. I don't know who is looking for 2 stops. We can probably figure it out from what's going on with tyres. No one. It looks like everyone's gone with the 1 stop, which is bold, as there's a big battle ahead of us. 3 cars having a little go at each other. What we like to see. It's a little bit cheeky, but the three-wide battle with Vettel and Verstappen and Magnussen. And Verstappen has made up 2 positions going through all of that, which is a little bit a sign of just how good Max is, much like Max Verstappen. That is what great drivers do. That's what world champions do. Just pick up the places where they need to and then carry on their merry way. Start leaving people behind, and we can't afford to get left behind too much in this battle either. So we're going to go back to a neutral for a little while and see if we can get ourselves back involved in this fight. And past Sector 3, there's been an incident. What has happened in Sector 3, we'll find out shortly. Ricciardo's had a spin up. Sorry, turn 6 is not Sector 3. We'll see what's happened. He's just dropped it. Just dropped it into the gravel. Beautiful stuff. There's probably not gravel anymore. I can't even remember. But he's dropped it nonetheless, and that should be a free position for Oscar Piastri. Sorry, for Pourchaire will end up being a free position for Piastri long term. But for Pourchaire, should be a freebie. He's got the freebie, that's nice. And we can carry on our way and see when we're ready to go for the big push. Piastri moved up into P19, by the way, straight away almost, taking that position. Pourchaire, though, is the place we need to focus for the time being on this strategy. You're going to see the overtake. It was probably a pretty straightforward one, given that we have way more power than the Aston Martins. And DRS open for Porsche. He's still staying on the back of this battle between Magnussen and Vettel. Verstappen has left us behind a little bit, which is a concern. I am starting to think maybe it might be a good time for us to start deploying some overtake and trying to get past these guys so we can get onto the back of Verstappen again, because he's kind of our ticket to points today, I think, is Max Verstappen. Him dropping behind us means we need to get back up behind him now he's overtaken and try and use him to pull us through, which will be very, very helpful as we get on the power into the DRS coming out of this corner, and hopefully we can start looking like we want to make an overtake. We do have the ability to do it. We should have the power to do it, especially if these guys keep fighting ahead of us. We need to get through and past them as fast as we possibly can, because they're just going to hold us up with their little silly squabbling, and we need to start making Verstappen-esque moves through here, pick off a couple of places if we can. Certainly in the DRS we can be picking off places as best we can. Piastri's taken Albon and can start making his way back to Tsunoda. We've taken those 2 places. Beautiful stuff. We can start working our way back up to Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is into the pits, which seems very, very early, but I'm not here to critique. I'm just here to say what is happening, to commentate on the race. And we've lost our way past or behind Vettel again, sorry. We need to keep the pressure on, get ourselves back ahead of him before we run out of ERS. Would be the ideal here. We've run out of overtake mode. Have we got enough power coming off this corner to make that sting? Not with Seb defending like that. We're not going to be able to make the corner if we stay that close to the wall. And we are just going to be at the mercy of Sebastian Vettel for a little while, unfortunately, which is not the way we need it to be. I think it's probably a good time for us to go into super fast mode, and if we do the overtake, we'll do the overtake. Perez has dropped behind us as well. We're staying with Vettel. Leclerc's come in. Let's see how everyone shakes out in the pit stop. Verstappen should come out well behind us, but that might help out Oscar Piastri a little bit. Vettel's come in as well. Leclerc's in. Are we going to pass Leclerc through the pits? We're not. We're going to come out not far behind him though, which is okay. That's a good time. That does mean they are 2-stopping. Surely you wouldn't come in that early if you intended for this to be a one-stop race, which means there could still be points to be picked up. By playing the long-term game with Théo Pourchaire, we could be in for a bit of a treat here. Piastri is still catching up to Tsunoda, which is nice to see. We're doing okay on the timing tree, and Verstappen has taken the fastest lap of the race, but still behind Oscar Piastri, which is good. And we've entered our pit window. Alonso has dropped behind us as well, putting Pourchaire up into P9. In terms of the pit window, we're actually okay. I think on tyre we should be coming in roughly where we'd expect to, so we can keep going as we planned. Guan Yu Zhou has made a pit stop. Alonso's coming up behind Piastri, which means Piastri should have jumped in the pit stops at this stage of the race. He will have to do more overtaking later on, but we can cross that bridge when we come to it, because right now it is just about getting Théo Pourchaire as close to the points as we can as Hamilton comes in and out behind us, and we're suddenly in the points and looking pretty strong. It's got to be said, we're looking pretty strong, so we're going to keep this going. We're going to wait a couple of laps maybe. Where are we at with our pit window? We're probably 2 laps away, so we'll wait till we're 1 lap away from the pit window. I think we'll start pushing those tyres a little bit more, try and build some gap as Bottas comes into the pits. And this could be a good time for us to go aggressive, try and make up a little bit of time on Valtteri Bottas, because obviously we've still got that undercurrent of, do you replace Pourchaire with Bottas? And if Pourchaire can somehow beat Bottas in this race, I would feel pretty confident that he'll be staying with the team, because he should be on a slightly better strategy. And we're up into P7 and catching Lance Stroll, which is going to be very important. Piastri, by the way, making the big moves. Let's just see what's going on there. He has taken one of the Mercedes. I think that's Lando Norris. Well, one of the McLarens even. Lando Norris, and I think immediately got himself past the Haas as well, I think is what happened there, because he seemed like he gained 2 positions, and if he's gained 2 positions there, he is having a bit of a laugh. He's not gained 2 positions, he's just got himself up behind Yuki Tsunoda, which is good. He's doing okay. Right, back on board with Porsche. What's happening on a lot? Carlos Sainz is going to make a nuisance of himself, as is Sergio Perez. We'd like to keep them behind us up until we actually come in for our pit stop. That would be ideal. I'm just trying to think whether I can burn these tyres through or not. Probably not just yet, but we'll just keep pushing, because although the Ferrari and Red Bull are on better tyres, if we're pushing ours, we should be in a good position to keep them behind us. And George Russell is coming for a pit stop. I don't think we're going to get ahead of Russell. I think he'll come out just ahead of Stroll and Norris in, though. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, attack time, because this will be the pit window opening for us. And we're doing our set of hards to the ends. This could be where we make everything happen. Is Russell going to come behind us? It's going to be very close at the pit exit. We're coming out on our hot lap, fresh tyres, pushing them, or already warm tyres, I should say, pushing them a bit harder as well. I might go for a cheeky deploy here, just to see if we can stay up with George Russell on our in-lap, get a really, really good in-lap out of this. And if we do get a good in-lap out of this, we'll be in a really good position. Where is our good friend Oscar Piastri? Up into 9th already, which is good as well. Admittedly in a battle with Tsunoda, but he should be in a good place tyres-wise. And I'm just sort of having a little think about where he would come out at the moment. He would come out probably ahead of Lando Norris, I think, as things stand, which is good. Porsche, I would expect to come out also ahead of Lando Norris after this pit stop, which is good. We're doing okay. We're not embarrassing ourselves in any way, shape or form, which is nice. Drop down to neutral because we are about to make that pit stop and we don't want to use all of our tyres up, especially because we are still chasing. What has happened there? What happened there? I'd love a replay on that, because something dramatic happened. They just both flew past us. Seems a bit odd, but you know, that's life. And Porsche is in for his pit stop. Ocon and Gasly also in. You'd expect Piastri to get up past all of us, so good news for Piastri as well. He should be in a good position here, so I'm having to drink whilst I need a bit of a cold. I've got that kind of weird cold dehydration thing going on. You know how it works. Now, Gasly in and out. What does Gasly come out on is the question. If Gasly's going for a 2-stop here, this could be very interesting indeed. Porsche exiting in P15 and not ahead of Norris, which is not good. Tsunoda's coming behind, so he'll be behind us, and we're looking at the back of Lance Stroll now. But we'll put Porsche onto the Saviour tyres, buddy. We need to get them to the end. That's what we're saying. That was the words I was looking for. No safety cars so far. Everyone has kind of dropped the Astons. Look how far behind they are. They just can't keep up with any of us at this stage in the race. We'll go on board with Piastri though, because he's about to get into an interesting little battle with Max Verstappen. I'm just trying to see what's happening around us. Stroll also on hards, and I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Ricciardo needs to pit as well, so that should give Porsche another freebie, you'd think. Let's have a little look. That gap is 12, so yeah, we're taking that freebie for sure. We're doing okay, so we can go zoom a little bit here. We can tick off some laps because we're not really in a battle with anyone for anything at this stage, and it's probably going to come now that we get into a battle, because Piastri is looking in his mirrors at Max Verstappen, who is the fastest man on track, which is a little bit of a concern. A little bit of a concern, not a massive concern, it's got to be said, a little bit of a concern. I probably massively overfueled the car now I'm looking at things, because we're still 6 kilos up, and I feel like maybe I made an error there. We could have a little bit more pace to fight with. But you never know how things will go anymore. Maybe we'll find a way to burn all that fuel off. Maybe we'll just come over the line a little heavy. But as long as we come over the line heavy and in the points, I'm not going to be too disappointed. What's Piastri saying? Sorry, what's Porsche saying at the moment? He is catching Lance Stroll. He's not fully behind Lance Stroll, and he's not even in DRS at the moment. He is in DRS apparently. I wouldn't have said he was, but I don't know where he was at the activation point. Hopefully he'll come through this corner. We'll get a much better read on what's going on with his circumstances. Get him up into within a second for sure. Looking good. Okay, good times. Porsche looking solid for a hopefully good finish. So we just need to focus on the battle between Piastri and Verstappen. Verstappen is on the hards, Piastri on the mediums. So probably a fair fight, it's got to be said, as things go. Although Verstappen, having a look around the outside, I could have spoken too soon there, especially knowing Piastri does have to make another stop. But we'll see what happens if Verstappen takes that place, but we might be able to win this one back if we're lucky. Can we win this one back coming into the first corner? We're probably not going to pull this one off, are we? It seems unlikely. We should have the grip, but we're not going to have the speed. And I think Verstappen is away and off chasing after Hamilton, and this could be one of those times where we just try to kind of stay behind, hope he can keep pulling us away from Valtteri Bottas. Hope we can stay in touch if kind of the system we're looking at. In fact, I just had a little thought. Have a little look into the pit options. We do have a fresh set of mediums. I am having that. Do I push these tyres? And instead of going soft to the end, do I go with that fresh set of mediums to the end? And try and stay in touch with Verstappen and build a pit window behind us. I don't think that's the worst idea I've ever had. I think that might be one of the better ideas I've ever had. So we're going to push a little bit harder to keep ourselves up with Max and hope Max can keep us away from Valtteri and maybe build a bigger gap. That's kind of our plan. We'll see how it goes. Let's just keep zooming ahead. I'm going to keep an eye on the gap between Piastri and Verstappen because we don't want Verstappen to be pulling away. We want to be getting ourselves as close as we can to Verstappen. Vettel's had a lock-up, that's a good sign. Porsche will gain a freebie as well, which is something we need to be doing, and Piastri needs to be getting the big push on because otherwise Verstappen's going to well and truly leave him behind. We need to be staying within his DRS. That was the plan all along, stay within his DRS and pull ourselves away from the slower cars behind. Of the cars behind, only Alonso has DRS, so there's only really a little bit of a risk of the cars pulling up to us. We just have to stay behind Max now and hope Max helps us build a little gap, which will be fine. That will be good for us. In fact, I think we have to drop down to standard just to get ourselves to the pit window for the mediums. That's going to be our next strategy. In fact, let's have a little look at the strategy screen, because there is going to be a question of when that comes into play. I guess that could be an interesting move. Let's see where that would drop off from here. If we go full push, interesting. Let's do that. Let's go to that strategy. That could work. So we're going to give Piastri the big push now. Bring him in as late as possible and keep him aggressive until the end. That's going to be our plan. That'll be the plan. We're going to go as aggressive as we can for a few laps, just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. Go full push, Oscar, and see if you can get yourself back up behind Verstappen, and then we'll go big push to the end, and hopefully we'll be able to sneak some places. I don't know where we will come out. It will tell us when we look at the pit window. It might be behind Porsche, now I think about it. But, we're doing our best. We're doing our best to keep ourselves in this race. So we're going to go and fast forward ourselves because Porsche should be trying to catch up to Lando. He's losing him a little bit, but that's just going to be the DRS from Gasly not helping us out terribly. But these things could change at a moment's notice, and it's going to be a case of when do we bring in Piastri? Now we bring in Piastri. And in fact, we're so close to our original pit window. Let's just have a little think. The original pit window would have been there anyway. to Strat A with an early stop. Yeah, let's do that. Strat A with an early stop. That's a winner. That's a winning strategy. I feel it. I'm feeling this now. Okay, where are we in terms of the pit entry? We know we're going to burn through these tyres regardless. So we're going to keep pushing those out. We've got Porsche looking good to the end. Maybe could go a little bit more aggressive from here, but we're not going to risk it just yet because we're looking at Piastri. All eyes on Oscar Piastri as he tries to push himself home here on this pit stop. Let's go into... Oh, Sainz is in as well. Is Carlos Sainz thinking of going to a set of softs? Because if he's going to a set of mediums, he might be vulnerable to us, potentially. Potentially. Where's he going? He's coming on a set of mediums. Ooh. He could be vulnerable to us. I doubt it. I doubt it. But he could be vulnerable to us in the later stage of this Grand Prix. In the lovely overhead shot. Good pit stop here. It's a 2.8. It's not a great pit stop, but it's a good enough pit stop. It's under 3 seconds. We're going to come up just behind Théo Pourchaire and Lance Stroll, which is going to be awkward because Sainz is well up ahead of us. But, you know, I think we might be in a good position. We're going to put Piastri back down to standard, otherwise those tyres are never making it to the end. And hopefully we just wait and see now. Pourchaire, the big battler, Piastri going to make up some time very quickly and join this fight. Hopefully our boys can fight their way through together. And we should be looking okay to the end. So we're going to go for the fast motion and see what happens, because I think we're all just about catching up with the guys ahead of us now, and seeing who drops back behind us is going to be the biggest question. Piastri puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix and should be very quickly on the back of Stroll. Have we done this right, or have we done this badly? That's the next big question. And I guess we're going to find out in the very near future, because Pourchaire is slowly catching monkey behind Mr. Norris. We're going to give him a little bit of a push to get him up behind Lando a little bit quicker. Hopefully Verstappen's going to drop in there. He has dropped in. That's going to help us out immensely, because that will give us DRS, and the Pourchaire Verstappen battle resumes. And how is this going to shake things out? Piastri, by the way, is having a little look up the inside of Lance Stroll here to get him onto the back of Pourchaire. And we're going to have both of our drivers up together behind Max Verstappen. And this could be very, very interesting, because I'm going to be forced to swap the drivers just because Piastri has the best chance of catching up to and staying with Verstappen. I'm very interested in what's going on with this last section of the Grand Prix now, because this could be an incredibly close call. As you can see here, we've got our cars up together. Pourchaire having to do the big push. We're not going to swap them straight away. I'm going to keep an eye on their lap times, because it is going to be a question now of, can Pourchaire keep himself faster than Piastri as Verstappen goes for a move on Lando Norris? Verstappen's done a 152 lap last time out. It's not going to be a 152 this time. Be interested to see how those lap times compare, because we're faster than almost everyone ahead of us at the moment. So who knows? Who knows how this is going to shake out? We're about to find out. Let's see what Verstappen's lap time goes into the 130s. Pourchaire and Piastri looking good. We're looking good for catching up to the guys ahead of us, maybe. And I am thinking we might have to make this swap, because Pourchaire's going to have to go overtake mode. Piastri's going to have to go overtake. Let's get ourselves past Lando Norris, then we'll work out what we're doing in terms of everything else. We've got Pourchaire past. Is Piastri going to get past? Sorry, we've got Piastri past. Yes, Pourchaire past. We're going to get Piastri past, is what I was trying to say. Can we get Piastri up past Lando Norris coming out of this corner? That would be quite magical if we could, because then we are away and free. It's not looking like Piastri going to make that move happen. Pourchaire, I think we can probably go back to neutral for now, because Verstappen is now throwing people at us. Piastri, we're going to have to go on board with, see how this battle shakes out. He's going up the inside, outside, going to make it work, coming out of here into the DRS zone. Beautiful stuff. We're open, we're wide, and we're good. Porsche doesn't have DRS, so we could get that organic overtake happening between our two drivers, which would be fine, but we don't want to make them swap until they pull themselves away from Lando Norris. That's going to be the key thing here, because otherwise we're just causing trouble for ourselves. We're looking okay with the aggression there. How's Piastri doing with his tyres? He's going to be okay to the end, which is good, but we do need to find that gap behind us to make the swap work, because otherwise we are just holding Piastri up for no reason. We don't want to do that, because Piastri is probably our best chance of getting himself up behind Gasly and into the fight up ahead, which is where things are going to be won and lost. But I don't want to force it if I can just let it happen organically, because we don't want Porsche dropping time. That's going to be the real question here. Piastri going to have a look coming out of Woodcote. Can he do it here? I mean, that would be the ideal time to make the swap happen, to order the swap. Let's do the don't fight teammate. Let's just let him go. Let your teammate pass. Good stuff. Thank you very much. And hopefully it's not left him exposed to an attack from Lando. I don't think it will do. I think we've made that pass happen quite nicely. Hopefully Piastri will start just pulling us along and away from Lando Norris quickly, and we'll be in a good position to go from here to the end without too many troubles, and we'll be on for a winner. That would be the ideal situation, because Piastri needs to be able to use these softer tyres to get himself up on the back of Gasly. Let's go faster just to get through things. He is going to pull away a little bit from Porsche, but it shouldn't be too big an issue. Piastri needs to get onto the back of Gasly quite fast, and then we can start bringing Porsche back into the fight. That's going to be what the real question is here. DRS open for Piastri. 8-9 laps to go. Can we get a good move going on Gasly before these tyres start dropping off the cliff? Hopefully we'll get him very, very soon, because Alonso is just ahead of us. We should be able to, if we can get past Gasly, we should be able to push up onto Alonso in the time we've got left, which puts us into contention for points, because Verstappen's going to drop Ocon behind him pretty quickly as well. And we're just hoping someone has a bit of a mishap, or a safety car comes out. Honestly, a safety car coming out right now would do us wonders, because we would be forced to come in, get some soft boots on both our drivers, and try and push our way through. But we've got DRS now. Piastri should be able to get Gasly here, you hope. Come on, Oscar. Make it work, son. Make it work. You're saving DRS or your ERS up, but you're not really using anything to get past. And that's where we're going to start having a fight, because you need to get past now. Come on, buddy. There's no excuses. Just push past. Just push your way past. You should have the traction. You should have the speed. You should be able to make this work. Come on, bud. You're just holding yourself up here. Just be a bit more aggressive, because Gasly's dropping off the back of Alonso, and we can't afford for that to happen. We've got to take it under this DRS zone, or I'm going to take. In fact, let's just take that into our own hands now. Use the push to get ourselves through. We are going to get ourselves through neutral again, and we should be away clear of Gasly. And Porsche can be next to deal with the Pierre Gasly problem as we get to the end. We're in P10, but of course at this point in the save, only the top 8 positions get points. So we are recovering. We're on a recovery drive, but are we on the recovery drive, or are we just making things harder for ourselves? We probably do need a safety car to get points today. I think it's probably the realistic commentary we need to be giving right now. Porsche isn't really catching up to Gasly either, which is not going to help him at all. Let's go on board with Porsche. Can we get some deploy going? Because a bit of deploy going here could get us back in striking distance of Gasly. It's not really worked out for us, but it was worth the gamble as Piastri now tries to catch up to Alonso. Let's have a look at the lap times just to see how they look. We are a second a lap faster than Alonso. We're going to catch him before the end, but Ocon's a little bit quicker than Alonso as well. So, touch and go. How close are they to each other? It would be close. We'd have to get past Alonso almost immediately upon catching him. So we'd have to catch him in the right position. And it's looking doubtful. It's looking a little bit doubtful, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the pushing goes, see if we can get ourselves close to Alonso quickly enough. We're back in DRS now, which is a good sign. A good sign for us. Okay, we're going to be okay, perhaps. Or share. Oh, his tyres are dropping. We're going to do a standard. Yeah, low standard. We need to get the tyres to last is a good call, because somehow he's lost a lot of tyre grip. And Piastri's in trouble a little bit in trouble. Always, as I said, always struggles a little bit with tyres, but we'll see how it goes. We've got past Alonso quickly. We are going to have to lighten up a little bit, but hopefully we won't be in too much trouble.
Yep.
Hopefully, we should still be able to pull away from Alonso, even if we lighten up our tyre load a little bit. And then we just have to see if we can get ourselves caught up with Piastri. We're not going to do it if we hold off. We have to go for the push. We have to go for the big push. Get ourselves up behind Ocon. We are about to lap someone as well, which will help us get DRS. Should be Guan Yu Show that we are lapping. It should be fine. I'm a little bit worried about it, but we can't afford to bring him in. I don't think we're going to get a late race safety car, so we're just going to have to swallow our pride and hope that Piastri can just pull himself up to Ocon organically. Where are we at with the last laps? We are still slightly faster than Ocon. There could be a point on, but it's really unlikely with 3 laps to go. We'll see how it goes. We just need to get ourselves ahead of whichever of the Astons this is. We're finally going to make it stick. Good stuff. Bit close for comfort, but it's okay. And now we can carry on our merry way and try and get ourselves through to the end and chase down Ocon. I don't want to go full push on these tyres. I absolutely have to, because frankly I don't think we're going to be able to get caught up and past if we burn too much off these tyres. Porsche kind of in a bit of a struggle at the moment. He's going to struggle a lot. And Piastri, he is catching. Someone's run wide in sector 3. Who was that? Because that's someone ahead of us dropping past, or dropping behind us. It was Ocon. And we're on the back of Ocon now. Let's have a little look at that before I forget to have a look at that. He's not gone massively wide. It's a little bit of a time drop, but is there blood in the water? There could be. Was that done anything to his tyres? Not enough for us to get past him. We are in DRS now, and I think we're going to have to do a deploy here, get ourselves pushed up to the back of him as fast as we can, and then see if we can make something happen under deploy, keep ourselves up with into the DRS window as best we can, and hopefully there's a late pass for a point coming for Oscar Piastri, and then we'll go full push at the end just to get ourselves as far ahead of Ocon as we can do. We've drained the battery, that's fine. We are still in DRS, which is what we need to be doing, because I don't think Ocon's got enough to fight us with in terms of fuel, and he's certainly not enough to fight us with in terms of tyres if we are quick about this overtake. But it's going to be interesting. We're on the last lap. Porsche is largely a lost cause at this point, unless Alonso and Gasly have an awful time of things. So we are just pushing ourselves through now on to the last lap. Are we going to get a last lap pass on Esteban Ocon? It's not impossible. It will be tight, but it's not impossible. That's what I'm saying. Come on, let's get ourselves up as close as we can. We need to get ourselves in striking distance before we get back round to the end of the next lap. And it's going to be very, very close here. Very, very close. We are closing the gap, and we have got a DRS zone coming up, so it could go either way here. Something's happened in sector 2, and I'm not quite sure what it was. Was it someone ahead of us? Logically, it should have been, but I can't work out who it would be. It was Alex Albon causing issues. That's not going to help anyone, quite frankly. He's just binned it for no reason whatsoever. And not helped his cause or ours, but we need to keep pushing here. We need to keep pushing. Let's go for attack now. Let's just go for it. We've got nothing to lose. There's 1 point on the line, which doesn't seem like a lot, but considering we started at the very, very back of the field, a point would be still quite an achievement. We are going to run our tyres completely off the cliff here. We're going to have no choice. We've got to make it happen. And hopefully we'll just get past. Something else, Porsche has had a spin just to really help us out as a team. But it shouldn't affect this battle. As long as there are no yellow flags ahead of us, we should be good. We're doing okay. We've got one more DRS zone to go. Can we make it happen out of this corner? We need something to happen. We're going to go full deploy, even though we've got nothing to say. Come on, buddy. Come on, Oscar. Make it happen. Last chance of an overtake. Come on, buddy. We can do this. We can do this. We're through. Come on, make it stick. Let's go off board. Make it stick. We're currently up for a point, and we just need the inside line here. We should make this go. We are going to make it happen. Come on. Just a few 100 yards to go. We've made it happen. We've got a point on the last lap at the very, very last minute. But Oscar Piastri, what a drive. Bit of a hero's drive. Porsche sort of let himself down at the last minute. It's not like he was going to get points, but, we've done everything we can, and we've brought this one home. It's been a tough race, but we have gone at least last to points, and last to points was all we could really ask for, given my utter negligence with qualifying. Could we maybe have got ourselves further? Let's have a look at the lap times. Do we have a best lap option here? We don't. We'll see when we get to the classification in just a second.
A wonderful result here for the Williams driver. A very impressive showing today for Williams.
That's right, they've made some fine strategic decisions here, and it's brilliant to see them pay off.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
So we go to Austria next time out, but we've pulled off something special. Let's have a look how things look with the final classification. Charles Leclerc wins the race from George Russell, with Lewis Hamilton making a wonderful drive up into third from 14th on the grid, competing with Piastri for that driver of the day classification. Perez in fourth, Sainz in fifth, Verstappen in sixth, Bottas in seventh, and Piastri rounds out the points. In terms of the best lap times, I think probably up there in the top 4 or 5 by the looks of things. So maybe there was a chance I could have picked off a couple of other drivers with a good qualifying. We'll never know. Ocon comes in 9th, Alonso in 10th, Gasly 11th, Norris in 12th, Stroll 13th, Porsche 14th, Magnussen in 15th, Ricciardo having an absolute howler coming in 16th, Vettel in 17th, Tsunoda in 18th, and Albon and Guan Yu Zhou pull out the rest of the field. In the Drivers' Championship, Piastri has dropped the place to George Russell, but George Russell, of course, pulled out that excellent second place. Piastri dropping to 7th is not a huge issue for us, hopefully. Alonso, Gasly, Bottas goes up a place above Lando Norris. He's making a case for himself again to take over at the halfway mark of the season from Porsche. And the constructors, Mercedes have pulled themselves well away from us, and Alfa Romeo are pulling up to us on points. Let's see what we get in terms of an experience gain and development points coming in. Nothing to write home about just yet, but that's absolutely okay. We're not going to complain about that. We have come with some money away from the racetrack as well, which is nice because I bought all those new parts. And it means we don't go home in the red, which is always beneficial. So, I am very aware this is going to have been a very, very long episode. I'm going to apologise now. I don't even know how long it will have been. But it's going to be probably clear of an hour. If something requires a response, though, which is going to be something for me to take care of pretty much immediately, what's happening here. We've got a regulation change. Well, that is going to be very, very interesting. Let's see what's going to go on here. We have got sporting ledge change. The final race, double points. Well, double points. I'm going to vote, I vote for double points because we tend to come on strong towards the end of the season. And double points can make a big difference to us. Let's see what we can do with our facilities here. We are going to, so I think we'll just upgrade it rather than worrying about anything else. Seeing the word scouting department, maybe think, are we actually scouting? We've got development points for Oscar Piastri though. And I think Oscar Piastri, we're going to look to work on his smoothness this time out. It's not boosted his overall. Teo Porcher won't get anything. David Schumacher, can we finally get him up in any way, shape or form? I think we need to make him a better overtaker for now. Still go up in his overall. What are we scouting right now? Are we scouting anyone right now? I don't know if we are. And I think we need to have a look at that. So let's have a look and see who's doing best in the F2 Championship. Let's see. Any new drivers have come in that we've not scouted yet? Nothing special. Okay, who's doing best in F2 right now? Because that could be a big question. We've got Mick Schumacher still being a free agent. That could be interesting. Ralph Boschung is the alleged best driver in F2 right now. With Drugovich behind him, Talbot, Sargent and Yuri Bibbs. So nothing special happening back there just yet, but we'll keep looking at what goes on with that for the rest of the season. Let's have a look at the staff as well, just to make sure we've got no points there to allocate. We don't. We're doing okay. In fact, while I'm on the staff, we're going to have a little look at our pit crew, because I've not worked out how I'm training the pit crew recently. We are still developing, I guess, is the answer to that one. So, we're going to come back to the Austrian Grand Prix. Let's have a little look at a little bit of a preview, see how our car is set up for the Austrian Grand Prix. Should we have a better race next time? Oh, it's all high-speed cornering, and we do well in high-speed corners, and it's all top speed, which hopefully we can do some work on. We're not quite there yet. I don't really get any of the new parts in. Before that, we're going to get some new side pods for the race after that, though, and the race after that should be, I think, Hungary? France. Interesting. Top speed at France could play very nicely into our hands if we can get a touch more of that out of the car, so that could be very nice. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap things up there, so thank you for watching. I've always been chasing lately, and until next time, stay safe. I'll see you all very soon. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Until next time, have a good one.